Hey yo, hey yo, what's good with you? Welcome back, gosh dang it, Crawford Brian Nelson here. Welcome back to another edition of Saving with Sever. Gosh dang it, we got some foolishness to talk about. Last week I had to dip off a little bit early because I had to handle some shenanigans, you dig? But it's all good. It's all good. Will I ever share it on camera? Probably not, because we don't share here, gosh dang it. We're selfish with the knowledge. You dig? I'm playing. Welcome back. Hope you're ready for some more shenanigans. Hope you're ready for some more feelings to get trampled upon. Because we're going to get to the shenanigans. Oh, we're going to get to the shenanigans. So strap on in, my lovely Ken. Saving with Sever time. Let go. Hello there, H+III+T, it's about that dang on time. Gosh dang it, the king of being unprepared has returned. I might be the pun master, but I'm also the king of being unprepared, because yet again I'm going into this with a half-charged camera, knowing this is an hour-long video, but you know, that's just how I live my life, gosh dang it, but that's neither here nor there. Welcome to episode 4 of the Dang On segment with Sever, gosh dang it. Again, I like to think of this as a talk show, but apparently it's a podcast, but that's neither here nor there. So let's get into the shenanigans. Last week I wasn't able to get into as much as I wanted to, because, you know, I had some stuff to handle, which I'm very happy that stuff got handled, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to make it up to you guys by going into some topics that are a little bit more flavorful. It might not be as many topic for topic, but as far as what we can do to get into it, oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need you to get your jackhammers ready. I'm going to need you to get your helmet, get it all prepared, gosh dang it, because we're going in with the shenanigans, but that's neither here nor there. Let's start with topic number 1. Gosh dang it. Drake did an interview on that, I don't know what you would call it, like LeBron's HBO barbershop experience. Like, I don't know what to call it, but you know how LeBron James has like that show on HBO where he's got that rhyme, but he's got like random celebrities and comedians and peers and fellow athletes while he's getting his hairline adjusted, which, if you ask me, that in itself makes this a comedy. If this is about LeBron James in a barber chair getting a lineup for his hairline, I feel like this show should be a comedy off the rip. But that's neither here nor there, gosh dang it. But that's neither here nor there. We just don't act like his hairline starts here now. But that's neither here nor there. But while LeBron is getting his haircut for an hour, gosh, but that's neither here nor there. This week or month or however they do this, Drake was in attendance, which I thought, like, aesthetically it looked a little bit weird because, like, you've got, like, I know it's LeBron James's show and it's about, like, athletes and stuff like that, but seeing Drake in, like, the baby chair. Like, you know, like you got LeBron in like the king barber chair, and you got poor Drake in the little baby chair. Like, they did Odell like that, and I was like, okay, Odell Beckham, sure, but Drake gets the baby chair. Again, I know it's LeBron's show, but if we're debating who's the bigger celebrity, LeBron or Drake, I don't know. It just looked kind of weird to see Drake as like someone's crony, but that's not, you know, I don't know. It just felt weird. But the main event and the real talking point, even though I still think it should be the fact that the show revolves around LeBron getting a haircut, but the main tea, if you will, is Drake's comments and him addressing the foolishness really for the first time this candidly, talking about the Pusha T shenanigans this summer and his relationship with Kanye West. He basically put all rumors to rest and told us what it is, basically. Drake told his side of the story where he was indeed playing the victim card. And you know, it's impossible for me to talk about this in a non-biased way because y'all know how I feel about that man. But that's not here or there. Drake was playing the victim card, basically saying that he was working with Kanye. Kanye was taking advantage of him, took his kindness for weakness, all that foolishness. Like he went over to Montana or Wisconsin or wherever it is they went. And he originally went to quote-unquote link up and build and collaborate with Kanye. Maybe they would work on some of Kanye's stuff, and maybe Kanye would help Drake out with some stuff, but it kind of turned into Kanye was more so just taking what Drake had and flipping it into his own stuff. There was really nothing that Drake got out of it other than a free trip to Wyoming or whatever. So Drake felt some type of way about that, and then all of a sudden, when it's this record time with the Pusha T record, very personal information that was told only to Kanye as far as people in the good music camp is being brought up on Pusha T's record or whatever. And I don't think this is in regards to Infrared. I think this is talking about the story of Adidon, or however you pronounce that man's name or whatever. Drake said that he thought that track was trash. I mean, of course he would say it's trash because it's about him, but if you ask me, that was easily one of the best diss songs I've heard in a very long time. It's the perfect balance of disrespectful and factual tea spilling information. But again, that's from a fan's point of view. Drake was basically pointing over to he felt like Pusha T went too far. Not so much about exposing the sun and stuff, which, I mean, if we're just going to act like Drake isn't salty about that, then okay. But he felt like Pusha T went too far because he brought up his friend Noah 40 and that he like has that disease, MS or whatever, and he felt like that was going too far. He also said that even though a response to that track was made, it was never put out. Drake says that it's because he's in this positive place and he doesn't want to give any more shine to Pusha T. Now, I'm going to try to address this in a way that won't get me in trouble because I'm not trying to get shot. I got stuff to do. But we heard the rumblings, and I'm just going to name drop. I'm not going to say what they did. I'm just going to name drop. We heard rumblings of some foolishness with Cash Money. We heard rumblings of some foolishness with Jay Prince. We heard a lot of things going on, a lot of phone calls back and forth behind the scenes that I'm not going to mention because I'm not getting in that. I'm just a fan. However, for Drake to sit there and sum it up as, oh, he had it under control, he was putting out the fires, he was doing damage control, and there was nothing else involved, I'm not buying that for a second. Maybe 12-year-olds believe that, but I don't buy that for a second. Now, Drake of the person, I can't really speak on because I don't know the man. I can only speak on, as a fan of the man, how I feel about him, gosh dang it. I watched Drake stomp Meek Mill into the dirt for about 3 years straight. Meek Mill, I argue, still has not recovered from back-to-back, gosh dang it. Now, I know that right now, Meek Mill getting out of jail is being seen in a different light or whatever. He's playing ping pong with Drake. Oh, rebrand. But if we're going to act like Meek Mill didn't get the 50 Cent treatment, gosh dang it. Remember when 50 told the world that Rick Ross was a cop and y'all laughed 50 out of here? I feel like the same thing happened to Meek Mill. Meek Mill brought up a very valid point, Bro, you don't write your own music, you collaborate, as you say, because Drake is still on that foolishness of music is really just a collaborative effort. You don't write your music, that's okay. And yeah, he writes some of it, but you know, if you write 90% of your music, there's still that 10% that you don't write, and you gotta own up to that, gosh dang it. And Meek Mill sacrificed himself to shine the truth. And Drake annihilated that man in public opinion. If Meek didn't go to jail and is getting mild sympathy because of that, gosh dang it, who knows what would be happening to that poor man? They left him out of hip-hop for 3 years straight. Drake, you yourself said, and I'm upset, why you keep shooting if you know that Sammy dead, and then you run it back with, that's the only way that you get some respect. Drake has been the bully of hip-hop for about 5 years running, and no one says anything because of who he's affiliated with and the mouths he feeds and what he's doing for hip-hop and da-da-da-da-da-da. Somebody actually steps up to this man. I'm not saying other people didn't, but somebody steps up and plays Drake's game better than Drake plays it. And Joji want to sit back and play the victim card. I don't even know why you went at me like that. You know, I just all about positive action. Since when has Drake been a... I'm just not buying it. And there's a lot to unpackage. I'm just giving you my views on it. No pun intended. Drake is a freaking bully. He got bullied back, and now he's retreating in the corner. You see how every chance he gets, he tries to sprinkle some foolishness in about Kanye and his shenanigans to try and distract us from the fact that Pusha destroyed you. He beat you at your own game. Has Drake spoken out about the foolishness that Kanye is doing with Trump? Has he spoken out about the slavery is a choice shenanigans? Has he spoke about the Make America Great Again bull crappery, gosh dang it? Nope. All Drake cares about is some friendship stuff got crossed. I'm not buying it, Drake. I'm not buying it. I think it's awesome and interesting that he acknowledged some things. I'm just not sitting here like, oh, poor Drake. Because what about the long list of people Drake has assassinated over the last couple years, but maybe they weren't like social media savvy enough to defend themselves. All they had is bars. Y'all killed Joe Budden. I'm not here for it. That dude's a freaking bully and he got what he deserved. But that's neither here nor there. Speaking of things that are kind of touchy and it's kind of weird to sit here and try to talk about, so I'm just going to say it as a bullet point. Last weekend, there was a shooting at a Lil Wayne concert. I think it was the one in Atlanta, I believe. That just sucks. And I'm liking this whole like media resurgence that Lil Wayne is on. I think it's really dope and really cool. I just think it kind of sucks that it always seems like there's like a cloud of negativity that seems to follow him. And I really hope that everyone's okay. I didn't really read into the details of it, but I just kind of saw the headline and I was like, aga. But that's neither here nor there. Speaking of Wayne and a cloud of negativity, let me make sure that's the next thing in the notes before I go there. Yes, I can go there. Lil Wayne versus Frank Isola. For those of you who are into sports, you understand who Frank Isola is. For those of you who like hip-hop, you know who Lil Wayne is. Lil Wayne recently did a sit-down interview with some lady and Odell Beckham. I actually just watched it this morning. ESPN finally put it out. And they were talking about a plethora of things and a lot of different issues and such. But one of the things that was brought up is a lot of the controversy that seems to swarm around Odell Beckham, which I'm not sure why that is when Odell Beckham seems like a very nice person, you know, well-spoken and all that. You know, how the media portrays him, you would think he was like Draymond Green or something like that, but Odell seems like a great guy. I'm not really sure why people take a dump on him and Serena so much. Well, I know why, but I'm not going to go there, gosh dang it. But that's not here nor there. Big shout out to Hidden Valley Ranch, but that's not here nor there. But Frank Isola said and I quote, and this is a very loose quote, gosh dang, so I really shouldn't say, and I quote, but he said that how can Odell Beckham be taken seriously when he's doing sit-down interviews next to Lil Wayne? How can he be taken seriously when Lil Wayne is sitting down next to him? Lil Wayne took to Instagram and he actually spoke on the shenanigans, which is really interesting to see what it takes for Wayne to speak out. I'm not going to talk about the Cash Money situation because, again, this is another example of Wayne proving when something is legitimate, he'll speak out, but that's not here and there. I know he's into sports, but Wayne spoke back and he wasn't very fond of the things that Frank Isola said, and he kind of addressed it in a way. My 2 cents on it, I need everyone to just kind of stay in their lanes. I understand that Lil Wayne is a rapper, and I'm with you on that. Any rapper that tries to get into any form of a political conversation, I change the channel. I reference the dang on Dave Chappelle sketch. What does Ja Rule think at a time like that? Like, I'm always going to reference that. But there was nothing political in that interview. I watched the whole 45 minutes. Maybe they were referring to a different one, but from what I saw, there was nothing political whatsoever. It was just Wayne and Odell Beckham talking about their careers. There's nothing political in there. So I don't know why the shot was needed to be taken by Mr. Frank Isola. And I mess with Frank. Kind of. He's a little negative here and there. But I'm just not sure I saw where the shot was warranted or necessary, other than the fact that you saw a rapper next to Odell and you just felt the need to take a shot. Now, Mr. Isola did apologize in the following episode of Around the Horn, I think, but they still kind of laughed it off. And again, I want to bring it back up again. People always get so shocked when they ask why I don't watch football, why I don't support it. When I see things like that, it's just more instances of the whole "it is what it is" type thing. Like, oh, that's how it is? That's how you're treating us? That's how you view us? I just continuously get this vibe that certain commentators and certain people in power kind of have the mentality when it comes to players of the whole shut up and dribble idea. Like the whole, like, your job is to go out there and entertain us. Put your life on the line for our amusement. I don't care what you're going through personally. Go out there and entertain us. That's just the vibe I get from football. And while I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested in seeing what the Giants are up to, you know, me supporting New York teams, obviously, I don't know if I can ever openly say that I support the NFL just because of that vibe and how they treated Wayne without even seeing the interview. Again, it just goes to show me like how it is with us as African Americans. But that's neither here nor there. I won't get too political. Gosh dang it, I don't want to step on any toes. But that's neither here nor there. Ooh, this next topic is really interesting. I got to punch out for this one. This next topic is another fun thing I kind of want to talk about, and it's something that can be enough of a deep dive to give the foolishness some juice, if you will, to make up for last week. The Houston Rockets. You know, it's no secret that I don't like Carmelo Anthony. I've got a love-hate relationship with that man. The foolishness he did with New York in the early days, basically carrying us over to the playoffs for 3 straight years. I'll always have a warm place in my heart for what he did for us back in the day. The end of the Carmelo Anthony reign was questionable, and I've gone on enough video tangents for you to know how I feel about it. Gosh dang, go check my credentials, but that's neither here nor there. It's no secret I don't like Melo. But last year when he went to OKC, I was in a weird place because I want good things to happen to Westbrook, but I don't like Paul George because I don't have short-term memory loss like Dory from Finding Nemo and everyone else, gosh dang it. I still remember what they did to us. I still remember what the Pacers did to us in the playoffs of 2013. I'm never going to forget that, but that's neither here nor there. So I've got strange feelings for Paul George, gosh dang it. Same thing with Scott. Was it Scott? No. Whoever. I can't believe I forgot that man's name. Who was the coach of the Pacers then? I can't remember his name, but Frank Vogel. I'll always have a certain set of feelings for those bums, gosh dang it, because of what they did to us, gosh dang it. However, there was like something inside of me that wanted to see Carmelo do well. And even though that feeling for me has faded a lot, because I'm happy that the secret's out that Carmelo is trash as a basketball player, not as a person. He's a great person. I'm sure he's a great father, all that foolishness. I want to make it clear I'm not talking about him as the person. I'm talking about him as an athlete and his attitude on the court and all of his on-the-court shenanigans. Not taking a shot at the person. I want to make that clear. I'm sure he's a great guy. With all that being said, I like James Harden. I think he can do a little much at times. Like, there's been times where he's been blowing us out, and I feel like he went a little bit too hard, and he could have stopped, gosh dang, and I questioned him. But I like James Harden. And I'm not the biggest Chris Paul fan, but I want good things for Chris Paul. He doesn't have much time left. This might be his last year, and I want something to happen. Last year, they were that close to beating the Warriors and going to the finals where I think they would have won. I want good things to happen to them. And now that Carmelo's in the fold, this is what I wanted for us in New York. I wanted us to get James Harden. I wanted him to partner up with Carmelo, and maybe we got a healthy Derrick Rose or something like that to make up for the lack of Chris Paul. Carmelo is in the best possible situation he can be, even though I thought he was really well off in OKC, but he just wasn't hitting shots. I feel like Carmelo is in a great setting. He's with his friends. Everything is perfect. The D'Antoni element is still a little bit wild, but I want the Rockets to do well. I really do. Not just because someone has to stop Golden State, but I want them to do well. I really, really do. For Carmelo's sake, for Chris Paul's sake, for James Harden's sake, for D'Antoni, I want them to do well. I want them to at least make the finals. I think they'll win if they go to the finals, but I want them to do well so bad. And I don't really know how to explain it. I want them to do well. I only support the Knicks, but I want the Rockets to do well. And I always quietly root for the Rockets on the low, but I want them to do well. I really do. This year, how the team is constructed, the relationships, the storylines behind it, I just want them to do well, and I just can't describe it. You know how you just see a team and it's man, I hope that works out for them. I want them to do well. I just think the world will be a better place if the Rockets make it out the West, but that's neither here nor there. That's just my personal feelings on that. Next topic I've got is kind of on the same spectrum as far as watching things from afar and hoping for the best, but not really having a serious interest in it, if you will. The state of world wrestling entertainment, or the WWE, if you will. It's no secret I'm a Jeff Hardy fan. I hit the dang on juke every single music video because I love me some Jeff Hardy. Love Matt too. Not as much as I love Jeff, but I love me some Matt. Some Jeff, excuse me. However, I've learned that I'm not so much a wrestling fan as I am a fan of certain characters. I loved CM Punk. I really did. When he was doing the straight edge stuff, I related. When he was a heel, even though I hated him. When he retired Jeff because I was a kid and I thought it was real. But I love Punk. I love the cult of personality thing. I love the pipe bombs he used to do. I said Jeff. I love Punk. I really do. I thought Punk was cool. But again, I just notice when people retire, when people leave, when people move on, my interest it's here and there. I like Shinsuke Nakamura. I like AJ Styles. I like Seth Rollins. But I don't like wrestling. If I'm watching a pay-per-view or something like that, on the network, which, again, I want to make it 1,000% clear, even though I said if Jeff comes back, I'll buy it. I still have not. I don't care. I don't care what the Shield is doing. I don't really care about what's going on with Braun Strowman. I don't care about that stuff. I don't really care what Samoa Joe's up to. I like AJ Styles. I just don't really care what's, like, you know what I mean? Like, I like the characters, and when they're not doing something interesting, my interest is, you know, nah. Whenever I watch SmackDown, I just fast forward until I see AJ, Jeff, or Shinsuke. Like, everything else, I just don't care. And I think it's just because I had to come to terms with I like the characters. I don't really care for wrestling. Like, sometimes matches aren't even that interesting to me. I just want to see, like, the promos and stuff like that. Just because I don't care. I just don't care. That's just something I had to own up to. And when I was a kid, I was super into it. I don't know. I just don't care about wrestling like I used to. Like, I watch, like, What Culture, and I watch, like, Simon Miller's Ups and Downs to keep me up to date. Like, I don't even, like, watch SmackDown or Raw. Just because I don't know, there's nothing that interests me. Maybe if Jeff was, like, the world champion again, I'd care. There's just nothing interesting to me. And I don't know how to describe that. Maybe I just grew up, I don't know, but I'm more so interested in the characters rather than what they're doing. I think that's what made the Broken Universe so entertaining, because it wasn't really about wrestling, it was about the characters. But that's neither here nor there. And I hope that the WWE doesn't screw that up, but that's neither here nor there. New music, there's a new song from the artist Joji, aka Filthy Frank. I forgot that. Can't Get Over You. It's really good. It's only 1 minute and 45 seconds long, but it's really dope. I suggest you check it out. I pre-ordered his album, which should be dropping relatively soon. I won't do, like, its own separate video as far as a review, but we'll definitely talk about it on the podcast. Let me see. I'm good. Anderson .Paak and Kendrick Lamar dropped a new song called Tinted. I don't really know what it's about. I don't know if there's a concept on it, but it's a cool vibe. There's a soul sample, so you know I'm 1000% here for it. Kendrick Lamar had a dope feature. I think Kendrick right now is the most talented rapper. The best is Wayne, obviously, but the most talented person with the ability to rap right now, I'll give over to Kendrick. So anytime he raps, I'm 1000% here for it. Always keeps it interesting. Always seems to have a point, but that's neither here nor there. Justin Bieber got married. A week ago, I would have got on here and been depressed and cried, but there's some things happening in my personal life to where I could care less what Justin's doing. But as far as an on-camera opinion, a boo-hoo. But that's not here nor there. Let's see what else. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I want to talk about just 2 more quick things, and then I'm going to dip off, gosh dang it. The first thing I want to talk about is I just want to tell everyone to stay on their toes. I want to tell everyone to be aware. I want to tell everyone to just keep an eye out for the shenanigans if you live in the lovely country of America, gosh dang it. Last week you got a text message from our president. And the only thing I'm going to say, because I don't want anything bad to happen to me, is I just want everyone to stay woke. Because if they have the ability to send us alerts, even if you have your Amber Alert turned off, the president can get through. I just want everyone to stay woke. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because y'all ain't taking down my channel. Y'all ain't killing me, but that's neither here nor there. And if I turn up dead, I want y'all. But that's neither here nor there. And the last thing I want to talk about is there's an artist named Juice Wrld. We're going to have a mumble rap conversation maybe next week. I'm not really sure. It just depends on, like, what shenanigans pops off over the course of a week. But there's an artist out there named Juice Wrld. I'm still very much into Trippie Redd at the moment. I'm still very much checking out X, may he rest in peace, and all that foolishness. So there's a lot of new artists I gotta check out. Like, there's someone named Kid Boo. Like, there's a bunch of new people out there that I gotta check out, which, are they my peers? I don't know. Maybe I'm not popular enough to consider them my peers. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. But I checked out Juice Wrld because I heard a lot of people talking about how great he is. Is he not a literal carbon copy of Post Malone, but he just looks like Uzi? Like, with Lil Uzi Vert's aesthetic, but he's Post Malone. I don't hear a difference. Maybe I'm just old, maybe I just don't get it yet, but I don't hear a difference. when I listen to Juice WRLD, I get insulted. Like, I don't even like Post Malone like that, but when I hear Juice, I'm like, bro, you just go blatantly take that man's style like that? And how he looks and how he acts, how he does the shimmy with the eye rolls. I'm squaring up if I'm Uzi. I'm sorry. That just seems like literal copy and paste of two different artists. And it's not even like they influenced him to make this awesome new feud. No, he literally sounds just like Post and acts like Uzi. Maybe I just don't get it yet. Maybe I need to listen to more, but it seemed insulting to me, but that's neither here nor there. Like, comment, subscribe, H+III+T. You see another Triple OG putting in as much work as me. Do me a favor, point them out. I hope you like this edition of the dang on segment with Sever. I've got so many different shows I've canceled. I forget them sometimes. Hope you enjoyed this segment with Sever. Gosh dang it, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And if there's anything I said that made you want to have some conversation, leave it down below. Gosh dang it. If you're a Knicks fan, I'll see you for the next live stream on Wednesday night. Gosh dang it, and we will continue with the shenanigans. So I hope you guys have a lovely week. Enjoy all the shenanigans, and just remember, if anybody's wondering, I'm anti-Tumblr, but that's neither here nor there. Agaga.